Now after downloading IBM RFT, let us see how do we install it. But before installation, there are some minimum prerequisites requirement, let us say as software requirements and hardware minimum requirements that we need to follow it. So what are the hardware and minimum requirements? You can see I have some hardware requirements which I have jotted down. I request you to pause the screen and have a look on that. So what are the minimum hardware requirements? You can see I have a processor which is 1.5 gigahertz with Intel Pentium 4 or higher. I have a memory which is required as 2 GB of RAM. Second is I have this disk space which should be of 750 MB, a blank disk space. The reason why I need is blank disk space for saving the projects for all the files, etc. Next we have the display, that is 1024 into 768, that's the resolution which I need. And the other hardware, like you have some Microsoft mouse or other compatible devices. These are for the hardware requirements. Now what are the minimum software requirements? The minimum software requirements is you need Microsoft Excel 2003 or higher version. The reason why we need is Excel when we are working with parameterization, that means we want multiple usernames, multiple passwords, different values, we need to store it into some Excel file. Definitely that will be worked as a CSV file. And also we need IBM RFT, the latest version, definitely. So let us see practically how do we install this IBM RFT.
Now after downloading this IBM software, what we'll do is we'll see how to install it. So I'll just double click on the folder where I've downloaded it. There were two files, if you remember, one was core and second was setup. After you download, that's a zip file. Make sure you extract those files in the same folder. And after that, what you can do is double click on this setup folder. Again, open that setup folder. You have many files which are the application, some configuration settings. So select this launchpad, which is an application, right click and run as an administrator. Click on yes. And after that, the window for the IBM RFT, which says as install IBM RFT window, will appear. So that's a window. The version which we are downloading is 9.2 version. And here if you see, you can choose the language in which you want. We have different languages which are present. I'll choose English and then install IBM Rational Functional Tester. Now the installation process has begun. It's a very lengthy process. It will take some time. So we'll just wait for the next window to appear. Right, so the window opens now. So if you observe here, I have only asked for IBM RFT, but also along with that I'm getting as IBM Installation Manager. The reason you're getting it, to install any IBM Rational product, you need to have this Installation Manager. So Installation Manager version is 1.8.6. So both things need to be installed. I'll click on next. And from here onwards, the process for installation is very simple. Since it's a training environment, we'll be just using the default settings whichever are available here. Now I'll select this I accept the terms and conditions. I'll click on next. This is the shared resource directory where you want to save this particular, whenever you create a project or create a script, where do you want to save it? So this is the location, and where do you want to install this particular file? So the installation location will be given here. I'll click on next. Right, so here also no need to make any changes. Simply click on this next button. Next, choose the language in which you want to install. Click on next. From here, only select those options which are selected by default. You don't have to make any changes right now here. Again, you can click on next. Now, this is something important. Installation manager cannot find the files for more than one or more disk. If you continue with the installation, you will be prompted for the location of these files. That means there are some files which we need to give them, which we can give it once the installation starts. So I'll click on OK, and now I'll click on install. So installation will go on. At some point of time it will stop. When it stops, we have to give the location of the file. Okay, there are some important files. That file location we have to give. So meanwhile, you can read what is given on the top. Installation manager cannot find the files for one or more disk. If you continue with installation, you will be prompted to provide the location of these files. If the files are not available, installation will fail, and see the repository information for details. So let it go on. Okay, once it stops in between, I'll tell you where the location of disk is available. Right, so if you observe here, it is throwing a dialog box which says insert disk 1 and press OK. Alternative, you can type a directory path or browse for the directory. So let me tell you where exactly is the disk file. Click on browse, go to the folder where you have downloaded the files. So I'll go to this core. In this core, you can see there's a disk 1. Okay, RFT. So when we started installation, we picked up the setup folder. Now if you want to give that disk file, it is kept into this evaluation core folder. So select this disk 1, click on OK, and then you can click on OK button. Now the process will keep on continuing till the installation gets over. Right, so finally if you see, now the installation has been done. If you see on the top, there's a green color mark which says the packages are installed, view log file. If the packages are not installed, you'll get some error messages displayed over here. Now, which program do you want to start? There are two options. One is IBM RFT, Eclipse integration, or none of them. So we'll select the first option. Obviously we want to see whether it is properly installed or not. I'll click on finish. So now it is loading IBM Rational Functional Tester, the latest version, that is 9.2. The time you're watching, maybe the newer version might have come. So this is the location where it is asking to save your data. Okay, that's a C user's name. This is the path. Whatever actions you'll be doing, whatever project scripts or data pool, anything if you record, anything if you do it, it will be saved under this particular location. If you want, you can change it from now also, from this clicking on this browse button. So no need to change right now. I'll just click on OK button. Right, so the window has opened. I'll just click on maximize button. So if this window is appearing, you click on this functional test. Okay, functional test perspective. Right now by default it was test workbench perspective, so I've selected functional test. So if this window is appearing at the end, that means the installation has been done properly. Okay, so you can have a look on this particular window itself, right? So I hope you have understood how do we install IBM Rational Functional Tester. What things we have done is we installed the first installation manager, and second we have installed IBM RFT. So this was a process for installation, and the window has been appeared, right? So I hope you have understood, and that's all for this video.
Tutorialspoint.com. Simply easy learning.